Oh yeah, it's the weekend, and you know what that means. It's time for the most entertaining hour of your weekend. It's time for Pixels and Bits on the Overshield.com with your hosts, Corey, Andrew, and Tommy. And now, broadcasting from planet Earth, it's time for Pixels and Bits. Welcome to Pixels and Bits on the Overshield.com. My name is Corey. Hi. Welcome to episode 33?
33.
33 of Pixels and Bits on the Overshield.com. I am your host, Corey, and I'm joined by my co-hosts, Tommy.
Hello, everyone.
And Manny.
How you guys doing?
Cheesy as ever, Manny. Anyways, it is the E3 edition of Pixels and Bits. It is Christmas and birthday all rolled into one if you're a gamer. So this week has been something very special. I would say this is probably one of the best E3s in recent memory.
I would agree, yes.
So now before we divulge into the full E3 details, let's go down to the news desk. Hit the music. Sorry. So first story. Who here knows the company Atlas? They make, you know who they are, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Yeah, they make Shin Megami Tensei, Catherine, I'm sorry, not Ace Attorney, Professor Layton, and like a bunch of other great, cool games.
Yeah.
Well, the parent company of them, which is Index Corporation, is investigated by Japanese authorities for allegedly performing shady bookkeeping.
Ooh.
Index Corporation is being investigated by the authorities for fabricated and inflated business transactions called round tripping. This tactic is often used by two companies, consists of selling an asset of a certain value to a company while agreeing to buy assets from said company for the exact amount. This creates a false market value for the benefit of both companies. So this kind of method's been used by companies like Enron in the past to heavily inflate market capitalization that can be used for tax evasion and money laundering. So they're investigating the corporate offices and the company president's home, and the company is not being secretive that they are being investigated. Their spokesperson said, "It is true that we are being investigated. During this investigation, we are unable to divulge any information at the request of the authorities. From here on out, we are cooperating fully, and as soon as all facts are evident, we will promptly make that known." Oh, by the way, Atlas has not been a company for a while. Did anybody know this?
No.
Atlas was dissolved in 2010.
So Catherine was their last game?
Catherine came out in like 2011.
11. Okay.
Yeah. No. They were dissolved. Like, the company itself doesn't exist. Like, Atlas is just a brand, so the games are actually made by Index.
Okay.
But the brand, it's kind of like Atari, how it is now.
All right.
Okay.
So, anyways, that happened. Okay, so, who here knows Cliff Bleszinski?
I don't,
No,
actually.
I don't either.
You guys really don't know who the fuck Cliff Bleszinski is.
Surely not.
Sadly,
He created Gears of War and Unreal Tournament.
Oh, so I don't care about
okay,
him.
Unreal.
So this is yes. Fuck you, Tommy.
He seems
I
like a
see
douche
what-
to me.
Huh?
He seems like a douche to me.
He is a bit of a douche.
Yeah, that's why I don't care for him.
I mean, he has. One reason I do like him is he does provide an insight of what it's like to be a developer and everything, and all this, just knowledge about what the industry is. However, I can't agree with him on this one. He tweeted yesterday, and I actually responded to this, and I got into a little bit of an argument with him. But
Really?
I'm not going to get into that. And I said, "You cannot have a game and marketing budgets this high while having used and rental games existing. The numbers do not work, people." And then concerning Sony, he believes that Sony also has a used game restriction like Microsoft does, and and he believes that Sony is just being quiet and enjoying the free exposure. He said, "You are all being played." Then argued that the current sales models for games can't be sustained. Instead, he continued to push that microtransaction is not a bad word. His quote, "Newsflash, this is why you're seeing free-to-play and microtransactions everywhere."
Yeah.
However, I can completely disagree. I mean, there just this. Someone put this very well. It's like companies cannot change the market. The market is dictated by consumers because they buy your product. So it's like saying you are doing the 100-meter dash and you do it in 12 seconds or whatever, but you want a faster time. But instead of working hard to make yourself faster, you demand that the 100 yards get shortened to 80 yards. Do you guys kind of get my analogy here?
So no, not really. I'm not seeing it.
What I'm trying to say is you cannot alter a game company is there to put products out for consumers to buy.
Yes.
They cannot dictate basically the rules of the consumer because the consumer dictates the rules with their wallet. Companies who go against the consumer go bankrupt.
So
this is basic business 101.
It is. But are you talking about the free-to-play games with this?
No. But this was also this is regarding to his comment to use in rental games.
Oh, okay.
And honestly, rental games, they don't impact sales that much. I mean, think about it. How many actual rental copies of a game float around? Probably less than 1,000.
Yeah. Well, who knows how? I mean, Gamefly is pretty big, so I don't know. There could be more.
Gamefly is big, but think how many copies are actually at each location.
Yeah, in circulation.
I'd probably say that like at each GameStop location, there's maybe a few dozen copies of every game or whatever, something. If it's a big game. So that's what I'm arguing now. For free-to-play and microtransactions, current market trends right now kind of go against what he's saying. Everybody here knows what Zynga is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Farmville people, right?
Their stock is down 12% from this month. They've laid off 18% of their workforce. And their value has fallen from $9 billion from 2011 to $2.4 billion. So the free-to-play model isn't necessarily working, or the microtransaction model isn't exactly working.
Well, I'll tell you the reason why. Because I do play Farmville, and they just make things...
Tommy!
I've been playing that game from the beginning, Corey. From the very beginning. This week they're celebrating their 4th birthday. I was there. I've been there. I'm just tired of everything having to cost actual currency. They're making everything currency. It's like the money I make, the fake little coins I make, I like to purchase with that. I don't want to spend virtual farm dollars.
They're phasing that out.
I know.
But that's what I worry about. That's the thing. Actually, hold on. Let me pull up an actual tweet that I got into a conversation with. This was regarding to like with Cliff Basinski and everything, and those subsequent tweets. So one of the things I noticed is, okay, this guy says, "Newsflash, this is why you're seeing free-to-play microtransactions everywhere. The disc-based day one $60 model is crumbling." And this guy said, "That's because a flat $60 is a shit price. Let me try it for free, and if I want to spend $100, how is that bad? Win-win." I said, except then that raises gamers' expectations, and then they would want more. What I meant by that is then to say, like a game that's 12 hours but has a great story, a gamer would be pissed if they completed the game in 12 hours after spending $100 on it. So therefore, developers would have to spend more money to make games bigger to appease the inflated value. And I also said goodbye single-player games because of this. Because then basically there's like, oh, I want more value for my money, so developers have to throw multiplayer in there and whatever, just to make that value more.
Yeah.
So that it appeases to more people. And this guy said if you this is a personal. This was kind of a jab at me. If you can't see single player games work on a free to play, you probably don't have the imagination to make a game. So kind of he was just fuck you to me. And I replied saying, I can see them work, but with publishers pushing the limits of the profit deal, I'm afraid that eventually free to play becomes pay to win.
Okay, I can understand.
And then here's the thing: he turned around and completely agreed with me.
Yeah, those are some complaints. I mean, Happy Wars, it's a free-to-play game. You download it, it's free. You can buy weapons, you can buy costumes that make you powerful, and I can hear myself through your mic.
Yes.
So I don't know if that's going to come up in the audio. But anyways,
I don't know.
You can purchase stuff, you can put yourself ahead of the game, but the only time I spent money, actual money, on Happy Wars was to customize my character's looks, not the armor, not the weapons, because you can.
And that's what, and you know what, and that's what Team Fortress is, and that's super successful.
Yeah, I can. The customize my looks doesn't give me advantage in any way, because I like to earn my items fair, and I've played this game for a really long time, and I'm at a really high rank, and I got some really good weapons that I got for free, just because for playing hard. And I'm a pretty powerful character, So there are. I didn't really have to. I didn't spend any money to make myself powerful. Only spend money to make me look cool.
Unfortunately, there are. But the thing is like there are some games like PlanetSide 2. I like who has actually played that game or even heard of it.
I watched Angry Joe's review.
I haven't heard of it.
All right, so think like Halo, but on crack, and there's like 1,000 players on like a continent duking it out.
Nice.
And it's absolutely amazing, but my biggest gripe with it was like, yes, you can earn currency to buy weapons. The problem is to buy a weapon, it costs like 300 coins. Guess how many coins you get a match?
One.
Like 1 or 2, and matches can last for hours. So literally to buy this new machine gun, you would have to invest like 80, 90 hours.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So, and I hate model, and then it's just like, but you can give us $10 and get it now. And I'm just like, I hate that. Because then you're going to see a lot of people, it's like, I don't want to put in the work, and they'll buy the gun. I don't think, I think if you're going to make a currency to battle, the base is like, hey, you can do one or the other, at least be balanced about it, so that people don't get frustrated by it.
Well, I don't know if you heard about this, Corey, but Dead or Alive 5 Ultimate is going to be a free-to-play game.
So is Killer Instinct.
Yes.
But let me guess, you have to buy the characters.
Well,
because that's what Killer Instinct's doing.
Yeah. Well, for Dead or Alive 5 Ultimate, they're releasing it to the PlayStation Network. They will give you 4 characters.
This is exactly what KI is doing.
Yeah, well, they're copying Team Ninja, because they did this first. But, you can buy the game already. But for those who never heard of Dead or Alive or just curious about it, they can try out this free-to-play. And you can play 4 characters, and you can go online, you can actually play online. But if you want to unlock more characters, you're going to have to pay. If you want to do the story mode, you're going to have to pay. But if you want all of it, then just buy the game at the store. Yeah.
That really sounds like an online demo.
Yeah, it really is an online demo, but you can, if you want
to that's what KI is now, too, so... I'm seeing a couple fighting games go this route, and honestly, I don't like it.
But I have a feeling this may be the future of demos.
Sadly. And I don't like it.
Yeah.
I think the current business model works. It's just it's a matter of developers trying to find a way to reduce cost. And when I mean reduce cost, use tools that cut down development time. So use it instead of that's why you see so many developers use like Unreal and stuff like that, or get a licensed engine instead of having to make one, because making one, it costs so much money.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, and time.
Anyways, moving on. So as we were talking about used games earlier and how Cliff Blazinski is kind of against it, guess who poked back?
You can poke on Twitter?
No. I mean, guess who kind of like, like comment-wise poked back?
I don't know.
Reggie Fils-Aimé,
Who?
president of Nintendo.
Oh, shoot. Nice.
Reggie came out and said, "We have to be very clear. We understand that used games are a way for this is their response about whether or not one day they're going to implement DRM policies. We had to be very clear. We understand that used games are a way for some consumers to monetize their games. They will buy a game, play it, bring it back to the retailer to get credit for their next purchase. Certainly that impacts games that are annualized, and candidly also impacts games that are maybe undifferentiated more than it impacts Nintendo content. Why is that? Because the replayability of our content is super strong. The consumer wants to keep playing Mario Kart. The consumer wants to keep playing New Super Mario Brothers. They want to keep playing Pikmin. They want to keep playing Smash. So we see that trade-in frequency on Nintendo content is much less than the industry average. Much, much less. So for us, we have been able to step back and say that we are not taking any technological means to impact trade-in, and we are confident that if we build great content, then the consumers will not want to trade in our games." So what he's saying is that if you don't want used games to impact your game sales, make your game great.
Yeah.
I love it. And he's right, because basically, I don't think I've ever traded or sell a Nintendo game.
Well, think about it, man. You and me go to we go to this local mom and pop game store called Game City.
Mm-hmm.
I've been shopping there for many, many years, and every time I go in,
I'm a GameStop
I don't see very many Nintendo titles on the rack on the store shelves, because all their games are used games, because they don't have the money like GameStop to have a shelf of just new games and a shelf of just used games. So all their games are used games. And I go there, and every time I go in there, I maybe see one or two out of this huge shelf of like hundreds of Wii games. I only see a couple copies of first-party Nintendo games. It's very hard to actually find a first-party Nintendo game in that store. Even with GameCube and like all that other stuff, it's even to find Pokemon is hard.
Oh, of course.
So that kind of speaks to Nintendo that this actually holds some water.
It does. It really does.
Now, Fils-Aimé was also asked if any of the major publishers have tried pressuring Nintendo into adapting a similar policy of that of Xbox One for the Wii U. The answer might surprise you.
I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is, we will see what happens with publishers, but it seems to me that every major publisher has come and said we don't mind used games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of surprises me then. Now, last story. This is an E3 related story, but I think this is rather funny. Who here remembers the Ouya, the new indie console?
That's right. Yeah.
All right, so Ouya had a showing at E3. Well, not exactly. They didn't want to pay the ESA to have a booth there because, well, they don't have that much money, and the ESA demands a lot of money. To give you an idea of how much they overcharge for everything, I tried to get an E3 badge, and they said, okay, that's $800.
Oh, forget it. No.
It was just kind of blew my mind a little bit. So here's what happened. The makers of Ouya were to show off the console in a parking lot within the vicinity of the LA Convention Center during E3. This was a move to avoid the fees necessary to showcase products on the E3 showroom floor. However, the ESA had an issue with this. According to Game Informer, the ESA rented the space in front of Ouya's rented parking lot so they could block the Ouya booth from public view with a large truck. Not to be outdone, the Ouya crew then rented a space in front of the truck and placed signs that advertised Ouya in front of it. So what was the ESA's response? They called the police.
Oh.
How appropriate.
Party poopers.
The police then, when they arrived on scene, found that the Ouya crew's permits checked out and then left.
Excellent. Good. Good job, LA cops. Normally you're dicks, but this time good.
Thank you for not throwing a good game developer in jail.
Uh-huh.
So, kudos to Ouya for basically throwing a big finger to the ESA in their feeds. I love it. Now, time to move on to the middle segment and the big one. And that is E3 itself. So let's start with, we're going to save the ones that everybody knows we're going to talk about for a little bit last. Let's talk about E3, Ubisoft, and Nintendo. The minor ones, in my opinion. Nintendo, what did they show off? They showed off a new 3D Super Mario. Not what I personally wanted. It's in the style of the 3DS Super Mario game.
Yeah.
So I was kind of disappointed with that. But they also showed off new Mario Kart 8, which looks... Essentially, they combined Mario Galaxy with Mario Kart, so basically the tracks are now completely three-dimensional.
Wow.
So there's multiple paths on each track where you can basically... It's like, oh, you're going upside down on the opposite side of the track while they're driving above you. You don't know what they're going on, so maybe if you glide into each other... You fall into the space. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I can think of the epic blue shell moments already.
See, that's a game. Like, I seriously want to get a Wii U for this.
A Wii U, I know. And then they showed off Wind Waker HD, which is a little bit more than just an HD upgrade. Yes, there's a new lighting engine, and yes, the resolution is now 1080p. But they also added gameplay tweaks. There's new mechanics to the sailing. The Tingle tuner is gone and is now instead you can do a message in a bottle system. And it was to communicate with like your friends and stuff like that, or other people in the Miiverse.
Okay.
And then they've also said that who are like the only complaint I ever had about Wind Waker was the Triforce fetch quest. Aonuma, he didn't disclose what they did, but he says that they have made changes to that quest so that it's not as boring. So, will I buy a Wii U this fall? Probably not.
Not in the fall. Maybe spring when Super Smash Bros. Comes out.
Right.
And when they probably do a price drop in the future, because they kind of have to.
Yeah, unfortunately, but yeah.
And then let's see, EA... Oh, sorry. Big announcement. The new Smash Brothers.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
It's finally been announced. Essentially, same game on both 3DS and Wii U. And for the new roster, there's the Villager from Animal Crossing, the guy you play as in Animal Crossing. Classic Mega Man. I approve this. And then a really weird one. the Wii Fit Trainer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Bring on the lady.
Tommy, I know you want to see how flexible she is.
Do you see the picture of Kirby? Like someone made a drawing. Kirby is the... You saw it? Okay, you know what I'm talking about then.
Oh god, what happened? I'm now curious to see what Kirby's ability is if he eats Wii Fit Trainer.
Well, he's gonna probably look like her, like the color schemes, and just probably have the hair.
So Kirby grows boobs.
Whoa.
Well, I don't think boobs. I think just have the hairstyle. And he's gonna be maybe light colored. I don't know.
Nintendo, I think, had they didn't really have a conference. They just did a Nintendo Direct. I think they showed off some solid titles. I like the new Sonic game that's part of the Wii U now. The Sonic Lost Worlds was essentially like, just take Sonic, mix it with Mario Galaxy, and then give it crack, and that's what you got. So I think Nintendo had a fairly solid showing of titles. New Donkey Kong Country. They announced that there's also, there's the new Zelda game coming out this fall for the 3DS, and there's another Zelda game in the works. That's
Yoshi Island.
And then there's Yoshi Island, and then wasn't there a Yarn Yoshi game or something?
Oh, I don't remember.
I don't remember. Nintendo showed off a lot of great first-party content. I was actually rather impressed. So now to the next one, and that is EA.
Yay!
They showed off
Yay.
sports.
No one cares.
It's the same as last year. If you really care, just know that it's an updated roster. There's a game mechanic tweak or two, and that's it. Go ahead and buy it.
No. Don't forget the EA Ignite, their new engine, which is supposed to make their sports games more realistic.
It's still the same.
And the Madden
game
curse
engine.
is still there, so.
Yeah.
It's still the same game engine from 2006.
Are you sure? Because it has Ignite now, so maybe. I don't know.
It's legit, Corey.
I don't care. They showed off Battlefield 4. They showed off the multiplayer, which I think looks. There's 64 player on console now.
No, I think no. That was PC. I think that was PC.
No. 64 player for Xbox One, PS4, and PC.
Oh wow. Okay.
That is awesome.
Okay, that was one of the best multiplayer matches I've ever witnessed.
Yeah.
And then they enhanced the destructibility even further. Skyscrapers can now collapse in mid-battle, real time.
That is amazing.
Which now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and line it up to where I'm just like a tank that's chilling on the side. If I see someone with a helicopter fly by, troll move and just drop a building on them.
Yeah, and there's talk of them bringing back Commander Mode, which is
Oh,
straight
yeah,
out of
they are
Battlefield 2.
bringing
No, they are.
Commander.
That was the whole multiplayer demo. Was Commander
Yeah,
Mode.
exactly. It really incorporates
It-
teamwork and responsibility for what role you play.
But I think the big reason they did take it out is because people abused the hell out of Commander
Yeah.
mode because the Commander had the artillery strike, which and what sucked about artillery strike is you could drop it anywhere, and I mean anywhere. So you could destroy. You could essentially just base rape people.
That and sending supply drops in the middle of nowhere can't help anyone. Yeah.
So I'm hoping that Commander mode actually works like it's supposed to.
I'm sure it
it's
will.
not. And plus, you need like a smart class to use those functions.
So
Yeah.
and let's see, there's a new Need for Speed game, Need for Speed Rivals. Don't really care.
And don't forget the Need for Speed movie that they teasered.
Isn't it essentially just Fast and Furious but switching titles?
Well, it's no longer a heist. I mean, that's what Fast and Furious is. It's more like heist
Let's see.
vigilante films.
They also showed off Plants vs. Zombie 2. They showed off the next Dragon Age, which I think looked kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then they showed
excited.
more of Titanfall, which looks really cool.
Yes.
And if you don't know what Titanfall is, it's the new game from Respawn Entertainment. And if you don't know who Respawn Entertainment is, essentially it's all the heads of Infinity Ward, the guys who made and created Call of Duty, who got pissed at Activision, and like basically half of that entire development team from Modern Warfare left. And then this is it. Think Call of Duty with Mech Warrior.
I'm calling it the first person of Lost Planet.
That would be a good comparison.
Yeah, it would.
And then the two big announcements from DICE. First, Mirror's Edge 2.
Yes, at last. We've been demanding it, and they finally gave it to us.
Finally, DICE is making a non-first-person shooter game. It's just a first-person parkour game.
Oh yeah.
So it's an FPP. And then finally, the big one from EA, the announcement of Star Wars Battlefront.
Yes.
Yeah, I totally overlooked that. Thanks, Corey.
I was hoping they might tease something Star Wars. I'm glad they
I
did.
knew they were going to tease it. I didn't know they were going to tease it so soon because literally they just got this deal last month.
Yeah, I mean, did you see the trailer? It's like 12 seconds long.
Yeah.
True. But it does take a long time to craft a CG trailer. So I'm guessing that EA bought this and just basically DICE immediately decides like, we've thought about doing this forever. It's like, okay, we made a trailer already.
But didn't really
Like,
show
I'm
much.
feeling that like DICE just already anticipated that this was going to happen. They just had this all done beforehand.
But okay, so DICE has never made a third-person shooter. I would like them to for Battlefront because that's part of Battlefront. You gotta.
Battlefront was a first-person shooter.
Well, it was both
It
actually.
was both,
Well,
but
it could be both.
Yeah,
it was mostly third-person though. That's how I played it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's me too.
Yeah, well, I think. Well, I have no worries about it. If it ends up being Battlefield Star Wars, I'm okay with that.
They said no on that. They don't.
Okay.
Yeah, there was an article saying that they don't want to recreate like a Battlefront. Like they don't want to copy
That's
a game.
good.
They want to do something different with it. Like they'll make it
don't make it a
Battlefront,
mod.
but they don't want to make it a Battlefield game.
Yeah. So, and then let's see. Then there was Ubisoft's press conference. I don't think they didn't. Let's see. They only showed off a couple new games,
Watch
and that
Dogs
was
and
most,
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
it was essentially just Watch Dogs, Assassin's Creed, Rayman Legends, the new Tom Clancy game, which I think looked all right, in my opinion, and then Rainbow Six Patriots.
Hey,
Yes.
What do you think of the
Sounds
host of the Ubisoft conference?
Uh,
I know she's a comedian, but she's not that funny.
Yeah,
Can they
yeah.
just not hire people, like hire comedians, actors, spokespersons to do their conferences? Just get their frickin' executives like everybody else does?
Yeah.
And she's tall. She makes everyone short. And she,
Or you know what? If you're gonna do it, just bring back Mr. Caffeine, and we can just be entertained by his stupidness. So, and only game that piqued my interest was Watch Dogs, and that's just been on my radar forever.
well, as of last year, I mean, right? That's
Yeah.
when they
Well,
announced.
I count a year in game terms is forever.
It is. But come on, Assassin's Creed 4? Come on, that looked fun.
All right, now let's talk Microsoft. Microsoft showed off all the new games for the Xbox One. New Halo. New
Yeah!
Huh?
Yeah! Halo!
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
go,
new Halo.
Tommy.
Yeah, new Halo. New Forza. Then there was Titanfall, which turns out is now for consoles is exclusive to Xbox 360 and Xbox One.
Yeah.
Not happy about that
I am.
personally.
Are you kidding me?
Shut up. And then there was Sunset Overdrive, which I think looked kind of cool. Dead Rising 3. That kind of surprised me. That's a console exclusive to Xbox One because Capcom's a Japanese company, and Xbox has never ever done well in Japan. Guess how many copies of Gears of War 3 sold in Japan?
Like, less than...
26,000.
Oh, okay.
That's it. That's all. Out of the entirety of Japan, which has half the population of the US, 26,000 out of 150 million people. Not good numbers.
No.
No, Microsoft has been like, I know a lot of game stores there don't even carry the Xbox. Because like there's this sort of Manny, do you know the term for what it is when you don't like outsiders? When you're
When,
Is it xenophobia?
Like you alienate them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of what Japan's market
prejudice?
is.
I don't-
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what Japan's market is. They don't like outsiders. So there's a reason why Xbox
Yeah,
doesn't do well.
basically-
So that's why I was really surprised that Dead Rising 3 is exclusive to Xbox One.
Well,
that really surprised me.
Microsoft spent a lot of money, and it could be only time exclusive too.
I'm hoping it's a time exclusive. I really do. Now, what else am I missing here? Oh yeah, Titanfall. That's exclusive to Xbox. Damn it.
What was it? That Roman game, Rise?
Yeah, there was
Rise.
Rise. That just looked like to me it looked like they were just like let's make a Roman game. It looked like it was Heavy Rain with Rome because I saw a shit ton of QTEs.
Yeah, this is like
quick time events.
this is. I think that's a game for beginners because they tell you what to press.
Even though it's so freaking violent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is, you don't know how to play this game, so we're gonna tell you. So this I figure this is a game for everyone who hasn't been introduced. So April, this game is for you.
Oh,
What? I mean, seriously, they tell you to when you have to press a button.
yeah.
Damn it. That's.
I thought it was gonna be a Dynasty Warriors of like Roman
See,
characters.
I would like that. I think that would have been a lot
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't think it's gonna
It
do
didn't
well.
look interesting. It
Yeah.
didn't look interesting
Yeah,
at all.
I mean, because it did look fun. I like the concept in the beginning, but when we saw the actual gameplay, I was just turned off by the fact how many times they tell you what buttons to press. That was a huge turn off.
Yeah, it was.
Let's see. And then probably my favorite game from taken away from Microsoft's press conference was Project Spark.
I know the little
That
big
looked
planets.
really cool. Essentially, it's a sandbox game, but a sandbox game taking a whole new level. Like, okay, everybody remembers Little Big Planet 2's how extensive their level creation was. How you can do everything from make a Little Big Planet level to creating like the Tron cycle light game.
Yeah.
Well, take that and once again put it on crack, and then give it steroids, and that's what Project Spark is. I also like the smart glass integration with that. That was really freaking cool, and how you can bring people into your game creations.
I know. It's gonna be mine, Corey.
Shut up.
If you don't know, I'm getting an Xbox One, people. We'll discuss that later on in the middle segment.
Yeah. And then Sony's E3 press conference. Man, oh man. I'm not gonna lie, and I think this is pretty much universal. They kicked Microsoft's ass.
Okay, let's just talk about the games first.
First, the games. Okay, so they showed off Arkham Origins. Walking Dead is also going to be on there for PS3 and whatever. And they showed off some new Vita games. Whatever. Let's get to the PS4 stuff. They showed off some really cool demos for Assassin's Creed 4 and Watch Dogs. And they're also hugely supporting a bunch of indie games. 10 brand new indie games at launch.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And some of those will be free too.
Yeah, if you have PlayStation Plus, yeah. Yeah, it's like PlayStation Plus. If you, which is, I think is an awesome thing. You pay them less than $5 a month, so like $50 a year, and you get like three games minimum a month. Like I heard sometimes you can get up to 10 free games a month.
Wow, jeez.
So like you get 3 indie. So for the first, if you buy a PlayStation 4 at launch and you get PlayStation Plus, you get 3 indie games and you get Drive Club for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they give you 3 indie games and a full retail game for free. That's a really cool deal. Oh yeah, I forgot. Microsoft is doing that too now with Xbox Live Gold. And they're saying, hey, we're giving free games now. And then when they available games were, I couldn't stop laughing. Or free games that that you will get with Xbox Live Gold is Assassin's Creed 2 and Halo 3, and I'm just like, doesn't everybody own those?
Well, don't forget, don't forget though, the very first game right now is Fable 3.
Everybody owns Halo 3.
No, I'm talking about Fable 3 right now. You can download Fable 3 for free. It's the first game.
I thought Fable 3 was
I downloaded it. I'm gonna make a video of how terrible it is, but I downloaded it. It's like 5 gigabytes. Jeez, that's ridiculous.
Anyways, Sony then unveiled their big 1-2 punch in terms of reveals. First, they showed off Final Fantasy Versus 13 for the first time since 2006.
Oh my goodness, about time.
And it turns out it is now Final Fantasy 15. And it looks really freaking good.
I know.
Yeah. But then the big one. Sorry, not Final Fantasy. What am I saying? I already said Final Fantasy. I screwed it up. The big reveal was Kingdom Hearts 3.
About time.
About freaking time.
I think I cried at that moment.
I think a lot of people cried at that moment.
But you know what's the best thing, Corey?
What?
Those 2 games are coming to the Xbox One.
That is cool. That is cool. That's good.
They're not,
Why?
They're not exclusives.
Okay, here's the thing. I get Final Fantasy 15, whatever. Final Fantasy 15. I get why that's coming. But Kingdom Hearts 3, I don't get why it's even on there. Because think about it. Kingdom Hearts has always been regulated to Sony and Nintendo. So and many Xbox owners I know don't own any of that either. So they don't get a lot. So they probably wouldn't even know a lot of the story. So someone said, "Oh, what if they do like a collection series?" Well, guess what? They are doing that. Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and then in future 2.5, which is basically them packaging all the Kingdom Hearts games before 3 and just selling them to you. And problem with that is that those are exclusive to PlayStation 3.
Well, they might make.
So if you're an Xbox owner and you've never played a PlayStation, if you never played a Kingdom Hearts and you pick up Kingdom Hearts 3, you're not going to know what the hell's going on because Kingdom Hearts is one of the most convoluted stories ever made.
Well, Microsoft might wise up and, take advantage of that,
Yeah, for all we know, we might get 1 and 2. later down the line. We might.
And later down the line, but nobody knows how long for sure because there is still that exclusivity deal with 1 and 2. Plus, keep in mind that that Sony was actually also a publisher for 1 and 2 back in the day.
I know.
Well, I mean,
so Sony still actually has some sort of rights, some sort of say over Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2.
Well, if anything, we might get a little prologue of what happened previously. That might be the only way.
It's not the same. It's really not the same because has anybody here actually played Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah.
I have not.
Tommy?
I've never had a PlayStation. For me, this is exciting.
Kingdom Hearts, it's one of those games that looks very kiddie. You don't think it's complicated. But goddamn, there are so many character relationships.
Yeah.
So many little interweaving things between plots and the stories.
Yes.
It takes, unless you if you played all of the Kingdom Hearts games right now, if you haven't played all of them, the story doesn't make sense. Especially if you go from Kingdom Hearts 1 to 2. If you didn't play Chain of Memories, you're not going to know what's going on.
Wow.
Yeah, it is really that in depth. It's in a world of its own.
Well, I'm excited because those 2 games almost make me want to get a PlayStation 4. But now that they're coming to the Xbox One, I'm happy.
That is cool though.
Now, let's see. Cool. They also showed off gameplay of Destiny.
Oh
from Bungie.
Yeah.
That looks awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just too much going on right now.
And then let's see, there was a new project from Quantic Dream and Sony Santa Monica Studios. That was The Order.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I can't make out what the premise is. It looks cool. It's like Victorian-esque London mixed with steampunk and werewolves. I couldn't tell, but it looked kind of cool.
It reminded me of Dishonored.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
I gotta see gameplay. That's all.
There's a game for Mad Max now, which I don't think there was ever a market for it, but all right. And then PlayStation 4 is also getting early access beta to Elder Scrolls Online.
Yes,
and then Elder Scrolls Online will actually be a timed exclusive for PS4.
I was wondering about that on our last show.
So I'm curious to see how they'll pull that an MMO as big as Elder Scrolls Online off on PlayStation 4.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty epic.
So that's and then the big deal, which was not the games, but Jack Tretton himself came out and said that PlayStation 4 will let you trade your used games. It will not require an online connection, will not shut off on you if you don't check in on the internet every 24 hours. You can share your games with your friends.
Yes.
So essentially, in my opinion, the PlayStation 4 is exactly what we wanted out of the new generation, which was more powerful hardware with better games.
Yep.
And then the big one. Okay, Microsoft dropped the price point for Xbox One, $499 US. PlayStation 4 dropped their price point, $399 US. So, and just that alone, and not to mention, PlayStation 4 is actually like 30% more powerful than the Xbox One because it has better RAM and a better graphics card.
Mm-hmm.
You think they did that on purpose? Because they watched. You think they did that on purpose? They saw their conference. It's like.
No, actually, they interviewed Suhei Yoshida, the guy in charge of Sony Worldwide Studios, and he said that they settled on $399 a long time ago. That when they were asked whether or not they were selling it like $349, they're like, well, we really can't do it at $349. We would lose money, but like $399 is just enough to make us some money. So I'm guessing they're maybe making like $20-$30 off of each unit. They're not making a lot of profit here.
Yeah.
And also what blew my mind most about the PlayStation 4 is how small it is.
Yeah, it's tiny.
It is tiny. It is the size of the PlayStation 3 Slim, mm-hmm. which for something with all that power is so tiny. Then you look at the Xbox One, and it looks like it's the size of a freaking VCR player.
But don't worry, there'll be a slim version, an Xbox One Slim.
Yeah.
It comes out 6 months after launch with no DRM features.
Hey, but guess what? Okay, I believe.
All right, so
no,
all right, hold on.
no, I want to add something quick because of the look of the Xbox One, because they changed the look of the Xbox 360 to look similar to the Xbox One. People who ask for the Xbox One will probably get the 360 from their relatives who don't know.
Yeah, I think the name is a bad choice too.
Yeah, it's like, this is the original Xbox, but you asked for the Xbox One, honey. Yes and no.
They go to GameStop. I like an Xbox One. We haven't carried that for a while, sir. All right, so joking aside, let's talk about basically the console war. We're not going to count Nintendo because it's kind of accepted that Nintendo really doesn't give a shit about console wars. They kind of gave that up after GameCube.
Yeah.
Nintendo realizes that they have their own market.
Mm-hmm.
That they don't have to fight Sony and Microsoft. And they're just going to be fine.
Yeah, because people are going to buy their products regardless.
To play Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, now, looking at now let's look at the issues that people are having with Xbox One, and that is the big one being the online connectivity. That is basically saying that you have to check in every 24 hours, and that if you don't, it shuts off after 24 hours and you can't play your games. Also, your Kinect has to be plugged in. And the whole reason they say this is because of the power of the cloud. Now, first off, let's talk about the issue of internet. Also, they said that the Xbox One only works with broadband or cable internet. It will not work with dial or phone internet. So, like, if you have dial-up, you're fucked. If you don't have a good internet connection... I know people who still have dial-up. Yeah. If you don't have a good, stable internet connection, you're screwed. So, let's think about who this excludes already. So, low-income families, the military. Then you got people who live in the rural areas, which is about half of America. So, right then and there, you're cutting out and just in North America, right around a little over 100 million potential customers. And I think what annoyed me most with Microsoft is that they're so arrogant about this. Because when Don Matrick was asked by Geoff Keighley, it's like, well, what about these people that don't have that good internet connection? And Don Matrick said, well, we have a product if you want an offline device, and it's called the Xbox 360.
Oh, I thought that was a bad move.
And I'm just like, are you serious? Okay, here's the thing. Basic Business 101. If you have to tell the customer in any way, shape, or form to not buy your product for any reason, you're doing it wrong.
Yes, agree.
I think Microsoft, and actually looking, some people have said, I'm looking, okay, was it Eurogamer? I found a very interesting article by Eurogamer pertaining to Xbox's cloud and online connectivity, and basically saying that they don't believe that it's actually integral to the hardware, that this isn't like, it's not like, if it's removed, it's not the Xbox One. Like it won't work. Mm-hmm. Like it's not an integral part of the hardware. So it's very interesting. They also talk about the fact that how Microsoft says it's like, well, like the cloud is like, it's like taking multiple Xbox Ones and putting them together, and that's how much power you have. There's unlimited power with the power of the cloud. Mm-hmm. Well, the cloud is limited to your internet connection, and right now the average download speed, the average internet speed in America is 1 megabyte a second. How big are these games? These games can, they're Blu-rays, so double layer Blu-ray disc can be 52 gigabytes. So already, that means that like you got these huge games that have these huge data packets. So by doing so, so like things like lighting and stuff like that, like fixed lighting, maybe background AI, like the AI you see in like Grand Theft Auto, like the people walking around, that could be handled by cloud, but nothing else could. Because it's the data files are just too big. It's too much. So most of that game is still going off the hardware. And unless internet connections get better, which is going to be hard to because technically we are running out of bandwidth.
Interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't know there was space.
Well, because internet, like wireless bandwidth, is still on this is part of you know how there's the whole light spectrum. Wireless goes into that light spectrum. It goes into that spectrum of the symbol basically along with like UV radiation, microwave, that kind of thing. Wireless goes into that. Well, there can only be so much of I'm just gonna call it spectrum, whatever spectrums in the air at one time, and we're kind of hitting our peak. The FCC actually says we're probably gonna hit our peak in 2 years.
Oh wow!
So like in terms of wireless internet, it's not gonna grow. Same thing with cell phone companies. That's why like companies like that's why cell phone companies don't have unlimited data because they just don't have the spectrum to do it. So already like I think Microsoft is really kind of bullshitting to cover up the real answer.
And what is the real answer?
I'm just gonna take a shot in the dark. It's just that they want more control. They want to have that say of what you can do as a consumer. They want to dictate the market. And that's just my theory. I don't know, but I mean, only the engineers at Xbox know. That's about it. Now Sony, on the other hand, I think has done what was needed. I think it's what everybody wanted. Microsoft, they're looking to try they're trying to go everything digital, and my analyst from Wedbush Securities, Michael Pachter, he manages like half of the portfolios for game companies, basically says it's like yes, there will be a digital market in the future, but that's like another decade or two down the road.
Yeah,
because because physical media still matters. Like look at CDs. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna recollect myself here.
Well, if anything physical will go.
When the iPod came out 10 years ago.
Yeah.
CD sales were roughly at it was like 1.6 billion. That's how many CDs collectively sold worldwide. Now, it's nowhere near that number, but it's still like right around 200 million. A lot of people still buy CDs. People still buy physical product. And this whole idea of digital distribution has only been around for less than a decade. So I still say give it another decade because, well, one reason I say it's going to take longer than, say, CDs is because, well, games are more expensive and they mean more to people than a CD.
Oh, yeah.
Because because games are experiences rather than a pleasure. Because, well, that's what I consider music. Music is a pleasure. It doesn't enhance anything or what. Well, hold on. Oh, I guess it can.
We are DJs, Corey.
I'm sorry. I'm bashing on music. Whatever. I'm gonna get off this topic. All right. So.
Wow, you kind of need that passionate music right there for you to know what I mean.
Yeah. And I'm just not. I really just don't get Microsoft's plan going to this. Another interesting fact. Here's the countries that are announced to launch with the Xbox One and that will have Xbox Live support. Australia, Austria, Belgium, Brazil, Canada, Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, Ireland, Italy, Mexico, Netherlands, New Zealand, Norway, Russia, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, United Kingdom, and the United States.
No Asian countries.
No Asia.
Yeah.
And only one South American country.
Interesting.
And none of Africa, none of Middle East. Already, they're cutting. I don't even. Why is this not a global market? Why are they not globally launching this?
Because maybe they realize they can make better profits.
I'm actually
within
really
a target
surprised that
area.
this is launching even in Russia, because Russia has huge issues with piracy. Huge. Even Brazil has huge issues with piracy. So I don't.
They may have done the research, Corey, and just figured if they narrow down their scope, they can, maximize profits rather than reach too large,
Oh, another big issue I have with Xbox One: mandatory game installs. You have to install your game. Problem is that it's like, oh yeah, Microsoft is giving you a 500 gig hard drive. That's huge. Here's the problem: you can't upgrade that hard drive, ever.
Nah, hopefully not yet. Hopefully.
No, what do you mean, hopefully not yet?
Well, we can upgrade it.
No, you can't. They said it can't be upgraded.
You're only saying that for now.
Tommy.
You gotta be hopeful, Corey.
Tommy,
You gotta be hopeful.
Tommy. I'm a Microsoft fanboy like you. I've never owned a PlayStation system in my life. Scratch that. I've owned the PSP, but it died like a week after I got it. So...
Corey.
Hey, I was lucky enough to play Birth by Sleep during that time. So, but literally within the span of a month, Microsoft took my customer loyalty and just ripped it into shreds and pissed all over it. I feel insulted. I really do. I think Microsoft has basically pushed the limits of what they could get away with their consumers, and it slapped them in the face. EA recognized this when they did online passes. You know what? Actually, Peter Moore, I think is his name. He's the guy. He's the CEO, and he's basically in charge of the whole publishing side of EA. And you know what? Here's the reason why they got rid of online passes: because they weren't popular.
Oh yeah, they've never been popular.
He recognizes, like, well, yeah, we did sell a lot of, like, passes and stuff like that with used games and whatnot, but there was a big outcry. We saw that. We got rid of it. Now, Microsoft has seen the issues with... look at the past year. There were two big PC games. They came out that had always online feature, no single player, and look what happened. Diablo 3 got a huge backlash for that. And then SimCity was a catastrophe. And I think they've recognized that they made a mistake. They saw how bad that went, both Blizzard and EA. Now, Microsoft, did they not see this?
Because it hasn't happened to them, they don't think it will happen to them.
Because they're arrogant. And you know what's funny is I love how we were like, well, Microsoft won the last console war, so they feel pretty arrogant going in. No, they didn't actually. They actually recently the numbers came out. Xbox 360 is in third place in the console race.
No, I thought it's number one in the US though, right?
Number one in the US and the US only.
Yeah. And that's all they care.
Well, that's not true. The Wii is still number one everywhere. Everywhere. I mean, let's face it. Nintendo won the last console race. Period. End of story. Because people say, well, what about games? I'm like, well, when I think console race, I think who made the most money? Well, pretty obvious Nintendo made a shit ton of money. They made enough money to have like 4 bad console launches and still be fine. It's ridiculous. I think they have as much money as Apple now. I don't know. So where was I? Oh, console race,
console
right?
wars.
Okay, so PS3 is actually second place worldwide by literally they're leading Microsoft by a couple million units. Xbox 360 is 68, 70 million. PS3 is 71, 73 million. It's that close. But the war's over, and in my opinion. So I'm gonna crown PS3 the winner just based on sales alone. And I'm not gonna lie, Tommy, I think, personally, just looking back and reflecting on it, what exclusives has Microsoft given us?
Well, we have gotten Crackdown, Gears of War, Halo,
Forza,
Fable. I think.
Well, for a while there was The Witcher.
The Witch. I mean, we can't count that anymore.
Yeah.
No, because that's now on
Yeah.
PlayStation 2.
I mean, BioShock was the same thing, but not anymore.
Yeah, that did happen with BioShock.
Same with Mass Effect. Mass Effect was an exclusive.
Same thing happened with Mass Effect.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Microsoft did have exclusives.
They did.
They did.
And they lost it. Now, Manny, can you name off PlayStation's exclusives?
Oh my god.
Okay, we got Uncharted, Gran Turismo. Now there's the new Drive Club.
Tekken.
There's Infamous.
Although they've shifted.
No,
over
Tekken's
to,
not.
Yeah,
No,
it
Tekken.
no longer
no,
is.
I'm
After
sorry.
6 came
No,
out.
Tekken.
Uh-huh.
Damn it! Not Tekken. Now you got me doing it, Manny. Infamous. Okay, hold on. Let me start over. Uncharted, Last of Us, Beyond Two Souls, Heavy Rain. What was it? Gran Turismo, Drive Club, Killzone, Infamous. So already that's 8, and I'm sure there's a lot more. Oh yeah, Mag. I'm not gonna count Mag. Journey, which actually won Game of the Year awards last year. So I would say Sony and that, and there was another exclusive that they had going.
SOCOM.
So well, that's kind of dead now, but yeah, I'll count SOCOM.
Yeah.
But I have to give Sony credit. They do seem to care more about exclusives.
But I think in 3A,
now I think Microsoft recognizes, and I think they recognize that it's going to be hard to sell the Xbox One when they can't rely on Gears and Master Chief any longer. They have to create new IPs. So that's kind of what I'm seeing with like Sunset Overdrive and Project Spark, and those look really cool.
Titanfall.
Titanfall is exclusive to the Xbox systems.
Yeah, I know, but I mean PlayStation.
It's not exclusive to the Xbox One.
All right.
Also, one and last point I have to give kudos to Sony on, and that is that they understand that there is a market for backwards compatible. So they're investing a lot of money into Gaikai, into basically streaming the entire PS3 catalog by the end of 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft has made no such plans to do any of that, which I think it was kind of a mistake for both of them to go in with no hardware backwards compatibility. PS4 completely understandable because they're not using cell processor or anything like that. So it's completely different machine. You can't reprogram that. However, with Microsoft, that surprised me because the architecture is fairly similar. I don't know. So I think it's time. I think it's time to end this. To end this discussion with what our picks are, and would we pre-order the Xbox One or the PS3, or even buy it?
You mean PS4?
Corey.
What did I say?
PS3.
Sorry, PS4. So, Manny, would you like to go first?
Sure. I'm obviously clearly going to stick with PS4, but then again, sticking with the roots on that one. But no, I get, like, what was it else? Like, what titles would we consider with our purchase? Is that what else?
Yeah, let's consider what titles we would purchase with it. Like, what titles would you buy the system just for those titles?
Oh my goodness. Well, the obvious ones are, like Kingdom Hearts and of course Final Fantasy. Probably will most likely consider the new Killzone as well. But
Okay. All right. I've never been a big fan of Killzone. Now, personally, I've already pre-ordered the PlayStation 4.
Did you get a bundle, by the way?
No, I just pre-ordered the console itself.
Okay.
I put down like $30. So I walk into Best Buy and they have my console ready for me to go, and I just give them the rest of the money.
Right.
As for what games like sold me and the reason I'm buying it. Infamous sold me pretty well. I also really like Drive Club. I'm a gearhead. I love cars. And Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy 15 were big ones, and probably, actually, the biggest one for me was Destiny.
Destiny.
And I don't know. I'm not sure why exactly it's sold. It's why I'm sold on that particular game for the particular reason of the PlayStation 4. Maybe it was the demo that was shown. I don't know, but for some reason, I just feel like I would have a better experience on the PlayStation 4. That and PlayStation Plus has me completely sold.
Yeah.
The fact that I pay less than $5 a month and I get free games. I know a lot of people are complaining that multiplayer is no longer free with PlayStation. You have to pay, but come on, that was going to happen eventually.
Yeah,
everybody knows this. You can't support multiplayer for free and make money. Plus, Sony is in a huge... They've lost a lot of money recently. They can't afford to have free multiplayer servers. They really can't.
Yeah.
When they're only making $20 off of each PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
So, I have to give them kudos though, because like I like the fact that they came out and said that, oh, and for streaming services like Netflix or even like even free to play games, you don't have to have PlayStation Plus. You can still use that for free. Whereas Microsoft puts everything behind gold, and that pisses me off. And they keep raising the price of it.
It's still $60.
Well, no, I remember back when it was $50. It was like $5 a month. And then
which is actually what PlayStation Gold is going to be. So.
Yeah. And then they raised it to $10 a month or $60 a year. I pay monthly because I just don't feel like shelling out chunks of change.
I just buy the card. And you punch in the code and ta-da.
Well, I did do monthly, and then for some reason, okay, long story short, I had a debit card that had been canceled months ago, and I didn't give my new debit card number to Microsoft, and yet for some reason they were still charging my bank account. So I fought with Microsoft to get back $50.
How did that turn out?
Huh?
How did that turn out?
I got my money back, but I got a new debit card, but they still for some reason keep charging my account, even though I took my credit card off of my Xbox account. So if this keeps up, I'm not going to be a happy person with Microsoft. I don't like the fact they're having access to my bank account when I don't give it to them. But this just may be me. I don't know. Whatever. Tommy?
Well, I will admit, PlayStation 4 did win the console wars. But I am all in for the Xbox One. Because one, I have a great internet connection. I have no problem checking in
No, I have a great internet connection too. I think we all
Corey,
have...
you're asking me to give me my reasons, and I'm telling you my reasons.
I know. I'm sorry, continue.
Give the man a chance.
I'm sorry, go ahead. That was...
I don't buy used games. I like to buy them new, because for me I don't like to buy used things at all. So, the whole trading process, I don't like, once I buy a game, if I really like it, I'll keep it, you know? Even if I sort of like it, I'll still keep it. If I can get rid of it, I'll trade it with that one friend, and I'll be fine with that. The exclusive...
But then he can't trade it.
Who cares? It's like them. I'm giving them away a bad game, so let them be grateful they got a free game.
That is dickish.
I like the DVR system in the Xbox. That makes it a lot easy to capture, in my opinion. And when I'm also thinking of for the Overshield as well, we can do a bunch of lots of Let's Plays recording that. I can upload it and it's done.
Actually said how the DVR works.
You can you need the Connect.
Because I know they've just said like there is a DVR, but they never actually showed it working.
They did in the conference. You have to talk to your Connect. You need your Connect.
No. Screw Connect.
It's okay. I can live with it. That's okay.
I can't. I hate it.
You know what?
I don't like having HAL 9000 in my house.
You know, I will have fun conversations with it, and if they listen, they will be very entertained. All right.
I can't let you do that, Tommy. I can't let you share that game with your friend, Tommy.
Mhm.
You stay with me forever, Tommy.
That's
Let's
okay.
play Steel Battalion too.
Oh, I like the Twitch app that I can play and automatically be uploaded to the live stream. So we can do live streams, Corey. We don't have to wait till we get 1,000 subscribers to start doing things for YouTube, because that's what we need. We're not even at 100 yet.
Getting close.
I know. We can do Skype calls. I can call you with Skype.
What? Okay, they said that the streaming is with Twitch, right?
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
Ustream owns Twitch, right?
I don't know.
I think they do.
Well, they have they made a deal for Twitch to
Well,
use live.
Yeah, but then PlayStation made a deal with Ustream.
All right. I don't know. I don't know the deal.
So is this the same thing? Who cares? I don't know. I'm just.
Who cares?
Whatever. I'm just thinking politics. That's all.
I can watch television on my TV. That's also great.
It wasn't. You couldn't do that on TV before.
Well, I don't have the cable, so I don't watch television in my room one bit.
No, but Microsoft says you do need a cable box. I mean, the Xbox isn't a cable box.
I know, but I have it. I mean, I'll have it, but I don't use it because it's gonna go over my room. I'm gonna have to make an effort and do that. But the games that attracted me the most, of course, is the surprise. The Project Spark really blew my mind. Because I love that creativity.
I will give you credit. That is a really cool looking game.
Mhm.
Sunset Overdrive looked really cool too.
Yeah. The next Halo, I mean, that trailer caught me by surprise. Was not expecting that.
Question: why was Master Chief wearing a parka? He just has armor on already.
Have you seen? It's all desert. You don't want sand in your suits to get all rusty and not work. And besides, you could be hiding from something or somebody. So I mean, obviously, Master Chief is going through a dark path with the loss of Cortana, and that giant thing, I believe, is a War Sphinx. So that thing is gonna be awesome to fight.
So wait, you mean we get to fight more aliens?
Ancient aliens. Ancient. There's a difference. Titanfall is interesting. I'm not a huge fan of Call of Duty. I never have been, and Titanfall does look Call of Duty-ish, but I do like the mechs. I do like the little BioShock, inspired catching bullets thing and reflecting the back. That was pretty cool. I might get that, but I mean, it feels too much like Call of Duty, and I'm not much of a first-person shooter. I really am not. But Killer Instinct, that looks fun. I like fighting games. That'd be great to play that again. That series once more. And then, I mean, those are for exclusives. I mean, besides Titanfall, even though it is PC, but there's, Assassin's Creed 4, Destiny, Final Fantasy 15, Kingdom Hearts 3. Those games are going to be really fun to play on my Xbox One. So yeah.
All right. Now, big question.
Yes.
Will you buy? No. Okay. I've already said that I'm buying PlayStation 4 at launch.
Mm-hmm.
Manny, are you buying PlayStation 4 at launch?
Ooh. Yeah.
I mean, you
Corey
better, so
keeps-
I got
yeah.
someone to game with.
You see, Corey keeps trying to drag me into pre-ordering, and the thing is, I've never pre-ordered a console, and even when the Wii was like next to gold in finding, we still just walked up in the store and walked out with.
I've never done it either. I mean,
Uh-huh.
when I got my 360, I camped for that.
Yeah, we didn't even do that. We just walked in the day of, 2 hours after everyone else did, and just grabbed her console.
Okay,
and
I'm
left.
lying. I didn't camp for my 360.
Uh-huh.
My father did, but I gave him the money for it
Why would you lie, Corey?
because that's how I am. Because I can.
All
It's a
right.
free country.
All right.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah.
So how about you, Tommy? What are your plans?
Well, I haven't pre-ordered the Xbox One yet because I don't have the money for it yet.
Right?
I don't have a job.
Yeah.
I don't have a job yet, so.
But would you?
Well, yeah, if I had the job and money, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll probably buy the new 360
No,
model first.
what I'm asking is like, what will you do it? I'm asking, would you do it?
Yes, absolutely.
So you would, Manny. Would you?
Probably not. I just don't see any reason to break the trend and just walk in the store and buy one.
They're gonna. I'm just thinking like already from the hype that PlayStation is getting right now.
Yeah.
They're gonna. I'm feeling it's gonna be like the Wii all over again. You won't be able to get one.
That's what they said, but I mean, we literally walked in there 2 hours after opening, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, if you're not lying, you're not gonna get it." And we just walked in there and walked out with the Wii. It's like easy as that.
I don't need to pre-order my Xbox One, do I? I can just walk in for that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna say no pre-order. I'll just walk in.
Yeah.
There'll be like a whole port of
Take
Xbox
5
One
of them,
courses.
Tommy.
I mean, I already pre-ordered, so eventually you guys will see a video from me where I'm just like, PlayStation 4, first impressions. Ah!
Yeah.
Will you be doing an unboxing video?
Probably.
I'll be jealous. He'll probably be like, "Hey Manny, come over here and watch me unbox it."
Yeah, because you are the cameraman, aren't you?
I'm gonna do it.
Hey, what's up?
You are the cameraman, aren't you?
Yo, don't even say that, Tommy. Really
Got him.
rub it in.
I got him.
I better get a free breakfast.
And he is the Sony specialist, so he kind of has to be there.
And
Yeah.
Corey, remember, it is an unboxing, so you have to struggle opening the box.
Oh my god.
No.
He's like, oh my god, guys, I can't get this freaking tape off.
Yeah.
5 minutes later, guys, I got it. I
Yeah,
found
and you
the
can't edit it
Nice.
either, because all unboxings are unedited, remember.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. I'm taking this worse by the minute.
All right, so I think it's time to move on. This middle segment has gone on for a long
You know,
time.
and it's fine, though. It's fine. It's
All right, so let's move on to shoutouts.
Yep, no more no stupid people doing stupid shit today.
No people doing stupid shit today because I think we've gone quite a bit over time.
Yeah.
So, who wants to do first shout out? Manny?
Let me think
Go.
on this actually.
Tommy?
All right, my shout out goes to the bees. Bees stung me on my foot 2 days ago.
Ooh.
I was
So,
at the
fuck you, B.
Yeah, I was at the beach. Yeah, it's not the top of my foot, it's the bottom of my foot where I got stung. I stepped in it in the beach and it hurt.
Oh, that's the worst,
I
man.
know. Oh, so yeah, bees, screw you. Buzz off.
We don't need your honey.
You don't need honey.
Who needs honey nut Cheerios?
I actually do eat Honey Nut Cheerios. In fact, I put honey on my Honey Nut Cheerios.
You're not helping your case, Tommy.
Bees, you're okay, but I hate you.
Manny?
Still thinking.
You gotta go. I'm saving me for last.
Okay. Okay, I guess my shout out would have to be going to my beagle. Yeah. Yeah, no, beagles are awesome. I'll tell you what, most people who like never seen a beagle in real life, like when they do, it just melts their hearts on first contact. So if you get the chance, definitely, check one out at your local shelter if you can. Save a dog, that'd be even better. But
So Manny's shout out, go save a dog.
pretty much.
Don't forget to spay and neuter
particularly
your
be-
pets.
But no, I only say
This is Bob Barker reminding you to spay and neuter your pets.
No, I only say my beagle because, when people ask me, so, Manny, who do you think will be your biggest fan if you ever become a DJ? And I said, I already know my biggest fan. It's actually my beagle because she listens to me practice every night.
I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of sad.
I
Who's your biggest fan? Oh,
Yeah.
my dog.
Yeah, but she always will be, though. That's the thing. Like, regardless of how big or small I'll be, she'll always be. So.
Anyways, all right. So my shout out is a Tommy. And you're not gonna like what I'm about to say.
Okay.
So my shout out is I'm gonna ask everybody who's listening to this to do me a favor, and what I'm asking is to not buy the Xbox One at launch. Well, what I'm asking, the reason I'm asking is because we need to show Microsoft that these sort of draconian policies to basically to warp the market, to force the consumer into being a part of this what is just I think it's just awful. I don't like the fact that if I trade a game with a friend, that's it. We traded once. I don't like the fact I have to install my games on a hard drive that I can't upgrade. I don't like the fact that publishers can choose to make it so that I can't trade in my game. I don't like the fact that if my internet goes out, the console doesn't work. So, that's horrible policy to control the consumer. So, Microsoft is eventually. I as a Microsoft fanboy, I feel torn because I want to like it, but morally I hate it. So, wait till Microsoft comes out with a version or does something, because this is I do not believe this is integrated in the Xbox at a hardware level. I don't believe it is. So I say wait until they make a version that doesn't have any of all this. When they realize the error of their mistakes, they do eventually lower the price to compete with Sony, and then buy it, and then show them with your wallet that you will not be pushed around, that you dictate the rules. You are the one who buy their product. You're the one that they depend upon. So, that's all I ask. That's all I ask. Wait. Just wait.
Yeah, I most likely won't buy it at launch, because if I don't have a job right now, I won't be able to buy it at launch regardless.
But Tommy, I'm just asking, like, would the Xbox One be a lot more appealing to you if it was an offline device like the PS3? If it was exactly like the PlayStation 4. It was exactly like the PlayStation 4 in terms of no DRM or any of that.
Well, I mean,
would it be a lot more appealing to you?
It wouldn't matter, because I'm gonna use the online system to play multiplayer or use the marketplace regardless. I'm gonna need internet connection. I'm going to need it, Corey. I think Microsoft is just jumping too far ahead. Yes, I do agree some of it is a little off, but I think that whole internet connection thing, I'm okay with that, because honestly, that's gonna be the future anyways. It's gonna be the future anyways.
But it's not now. It's too soon.
It's
way too soon.
It is too soon.
The digital market has only been around for a few years.
I know.
In terms of consoles.
I think the real
first one being what was essentially the very first Xbox Live Arcade game. That was Castle Crashers 5 years ago. The very first summer of arcade.
Mm-hmm.
So, and look at music. That's still the CDs physical format is still hanging around. I know people who still buy vinyl.
I would like to buy vinyl. I would like to have that player, so I can buy the Halo 10 anniversary one and the Tron Legacy. Yeah.
So, anyways, that is our shoutouts, and that is the end of this E3 edition of Pixels and Bits.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody got any last words?
Nope.
Happy Wars for the Let's Play starts this Thursday. So yeah, be happy.
Be happy.
All right.
I am Corey.
I'm Tommy.
And I'm Manny.
You got too close to the mic, Manny. You were like this.
Well, last time I was kind of
I mean,
quiet.
are you like trying to make love to my mic?
I am. It's an Audio Technica. It's very nice.
Damn straight it's not. Sexy mic. Anyways, see you later, folks.
Bye.
Yep. Good one.
Bye.